Greetings, brave members of the Linerian Resistance. This is Paladin Northern Firefighter, and I welcome you back to a journey through the extra-dimensional menace. The journey has been so very tough on our heroes. I so much apologize for the delay in getting to continue the journey, but the magic that's been allowed us to see the journey of our heroes has been unstable as of late. But it has finally stabilized, and it's time for our heroes to continue the journey through the extra-dimensional menace. And the journey through this changed land at the Rift of Cinders hasn't been easy, and will only get harder. It wouldn't take long for our heroes after they began the journey for them to find the first battle. What they came upon against was 7 cultists, 3 mages, and 4 dagger fanatics. One of the mages would just sigh and make a remark about the trolls not being able to stop the party. Gerald just yelled back at the cultists that it wouldn't be any different with the cultists. Then the battle started. The cultists would try and close the distance and try to attack the party, but they couldn't reach them this time. The sorcerer would make the first attack and hit the dagger fanatic with a magic spell, wounding it but not killing it. Gerald would move up and use a protective spell on himself, and the ranger would kill a dagger fanatic with a poison arrow. A cultist mage would move up and sling some magic at Gerald, but its protective spell sent the damage back to the cultist instead. The cultist then moved up again, but one of the dagger fanatics drove its own dagger through its gut and turned it to tentacle, just being there, not being able to hit anyone since no one was close. Another dagger fanatic struck Gerald, only scratching his armor, but a cultist mage used a magic blast to wound Gerald directly. The sorceresses took her chance and fired her magic at the already wounded cultist mage, ending its life. Gerald took a swing at the dagger fanatic and ending its life as well. The ranger took aim at the cultist mage, shooting an arrow at it, but only wounding it. The enemy would move up again, with a dagger fanatic taking a swipe at Gerald, scratching his armor only again this time. The wounded cultist mage would all of a sudden grow, its arm burst out of its robe, and its entire body getting larger and grotesque. It had become an abomination. The sorceresses and Gerald would take the chance and together kill the final dagger fanatic. The ranger fired a poison arrow, ending the last cultist mage. The abomination would move up and hit Gerald, hurting him a lot. The sorceresses used a block-in-place spell in abomination. Gerald moved up and used his protective spell on himself, and the ranger shot an arrow at the abomination, hurting it a little. The abomination could still attack Gerald and did so, but Gerald's own spells sent the damage back at it. The sorceresses and Gerald would together end the abomination, and the party could after that battle continue on. As the party continued on the path by the magma lake, so were they attacked by cultists all of a sudden, proclaiming that they wouldn't hinder the unblinded one anymore as it shot its dark magic at the party. The sorceresses raised a magic shield, but the dark magic was too strong and penetrated its shield. The dark magic would send the party flying backwards, harming the sorceresses physically and hurting Gerald's mindset, since he could not defend his friend. The party could only continue on after that. Further down the path in a safer area, so did the party decide to pitch camp. This to rest up, heal some of the wounds, and gather up the spirits for what's to come. That night was peaceful, and they slept well. Their wounds healed with the potions they had, and they were feeling better after a night's rest. They packed up the camp and continued on. Further along the path, the party ran into a group of demons and a stone golem. They unfortunately spotted the party and rushed to attack. Before they reached our heroes though, so the ranger managed to finish one of them off. Gerald and the sorceresses managed together to take down another demon. 2 of the demons would then attack Gerald, striking hard and harming him a little. The ranger would take his chance and fire another arrow at one of the demons again, hitting it in a place that killed it instantly. The sorceresses would move up and use her lock-in-place spell on the golem, stopping it from moving any further. Gerald took a swing at one of the 2 last demons, but only wounding it. The 2 demons that were left would then attack Gerald, hurting him even more. The ranger took another shot at one of the last 2 demons, but would only wound it. Gerald and the sorceresses would kill off the last 2 demons instead. But now the golem was moving over, ready to attack. The ranger shot an arrow at it, but it just kept walking on. It reached the sorceresses and the ranger, slammed the ground, and who then, with 2 spikes of stone, was sent into our heroes, harming them quite a lot. The sorceresses would move away and fire off a spell at the golem, but not harming it a lot. Gerald would use his protective spell on a ranger, hoping to shield him, and the ranger would in turn stay put in front of the golem, hoping to be its main target now. But the golem would shoot a molten lava from its back, hitting all three of our heroes and knocking the sorceress down. The ranger and Gerald, with their anger over their friend, together finally take down the golem, ending this battle. After helping the sorceress up and resting a little, during which Gerald decided to train some, in hope of being able to better defend his friend. Friends in the future. They would after that journey continue on. Or after that rest, continue on the journey. I'm sorry. They continued the journey along the path going by the lava lake. As it traveled, so did the lava start to move, and two tentacles made of lava shot out of the lake. The party would huddle together, ready for what's to come, but then they spotted a cultist in the distance, working some dark magic. The ranger and the sorceresses didn't hesitate, and each took a shot at the cultist, making it flee in a cloud of smoke, ending its dark magic hold in the lava. The tentacles disappeared, and the party moved to the spot where the cultist was. Or were. They found a potion of healing in that spot. They would gather themselves, and then continue on. As the journey continued, so would the party all of a sudden come upon a traveling armorsmith. He offered his services to the party, for a price of course. They did not have enough coin for everyone, so they decided to let the sorceresses and Gerald have their armor upgraded. They then bid farewell to the smith and continued the journey. During the armor upgrade, so did the party decide to heal the crippling wound that the sorceresses had acquired from being knocked out by the golem. Further along the road, so would the heroes come upon a lonely camp by the side of the road. When approaching the camp, so would the party see a strange light and sparks flying from the camp. Getting as close as they could, so would our heroes see that it was a dwarven Zapper, who is still very much with us, who was doing some kind of experiment involving a potato and a glass orb. When it worked, it seemed to produce a light. The Zapper would notice our heroes, turn around and greet them with a smile, while pointing out that they probably had never seen something like his experiment before. After a short friendly exchange, so the Zapper asked if he wanted to join the party. He responded with, "Yes, I'll join you. I got some new toys I can't wait to test in the field." And with that, he packed up his things and joined the party on the journey. Later on the party's journey, so they come across a familiar sight. An obelisk standing tall and looking like one in the mountains that our heroes encountered during the journey to the Stormcloud Temple. No cultist was here this time, but instead, 4 skeletons turned to face him. 2 of them were wearing metal armor, sword and shield, while the other 2 only had sword and leather armor, lesser skeletons. The enemy would only be able to move up, while a Zapper landed a lightning bolt at one of the armored skeletons. And the ranger and the sorceresses brought down a lesser skeleton. Gerald moved up to be the main target, and also put his protective spell on himself. The obelisk would use its healing powers on the already damaged armored skeleton. Then, from the shadow of the obelisk stepped forth another armored skeleton. It seemed to have been hiding from our gates before. Gerald didn't hesitate the next time, moved up and struck one of the armored skeletons. The Zapper with the lightning bolt, bringing it down. The sorceresses took a shot at a lesser skeleton, one end, and hit, dealing some damage to it. But would move up and do a retaliation strike against her, harming her a bit. Ranger would be quick-witted enough to shoot an arrow at it, bringing it down. The other lesser skeleton moved up and struck Gerald, but its protective shield sent the damage right back at it. But the obelisk would simply heal that damage, while the other armored skeleton moved up. Gerald would in this moment attack a lesser skeleton with a mighty swing, shoving it away and bringing it down. The Zapper would take a few moments to catch his breath this time. But that was when one of the armored skeletons that our heroes had taken down before rose up again and rushed to for Gerald. But it didn't attack him. It seemed that whatever dark magic is holding the skeletons together can raise them one more time, but that's all it can do. Not wasting this chance, the sorceresses hit it with their magic spell, and the armored skeleton finally broke into 1,000 pieces. The ranger would quickly move in between the 2 fallen lesser skeletons and wait, while another armored skeleton would rise again, but also do nothing but stand up. The obelisk would this time summon forth 3 tentacles, and the other armored skeleton would move up further. With Gerald's turn and him seeing the tentacles and skeletons surrounding him, so did he decide to use his protective spell on himself to repel any damage that would be dealt to him. The Zapper sent another lightning bolt at the already damaged armored skeleton, the last, sending it to its grave permanently this time. The sorceresses moved back and decided to take away one of the tentacles. One of the lesser skeletons suddenly rose up close to the ranger, but he quickly jumped away and sent it to its eternal rest with a well-placed arrow. The last lesser skeleton also rose up, but didn't move, while the last tentacle struck Gerald, but his spell destroyed it instead. The obelisk would heal the lesser skeleton, and the last armored skeleton, this is the last one, would rush up and with its shield stun Gerald, meaning that he would miss his turn. The Zapper however, would shoot a lightning bolt that struck both skeletons, dealing some damage to both and stunning the armored skeleton, meaning it would also miss its turn. The Sorceresses and the Ranger would together strike down the lastless skeleton, sending it to its eternal rest. The obelisk summoned new tentacles, while the armored skeleton remained stunned. Gerald wasted no time and swung a mighty swing, taking out 2 tentacles and the armored skeleton. Its first time, that is. He would still be able to rise up again. The Zapper moved up and dealt with the last tentacle. The Sorceresses only moved forward, and the Ranger moved and was able to land a hit on the obelisk, but with no real damage. Gerald, still having the downed skeleton in front of him, decided to move around but not away, ready to strike if it were to rise again. He would also put a protective spell on the Ranger should he be attacked. The Zapper and the Sorceresses both moved closer, while the Ranger moved and shot another arrow at the obelisk, and now he was starting to show some wear and tear. The obelisk would summon tentacles around the Ranger, and the last skeleton got up again. Gerald didn't hesitate and struck the last skeleton down forever, as the Zapper, the Sorceresses and the Ranger together finally brought down the tentacles of the obelisk. While resting after the battle, so the Ranger trained and practiced in order to remember more of his old techniques. With that, so the party continue on. Trekking along the path by the lava lake, so the party come upon a seemingly abandoned cultist settlement. The party would sneak through, came upon a large tent with more than a dozen cultists inside, who seemed to be in some kind of deep trance and not noticing the party. The party quietly discussed amongst themselves and decided to ignore the cultists for now and loot the settlement while they were occupied. The party took too long looting the place, however, and the cultists noticed them, meaning the party had to hightail it out of there. They did get some good loot with them, so it was worth it, but the chase out of the settlement left some of our heroes stressed out. This would unfortunately lead to our heroes to not look properly along the path they walked. All of a sudden, so they started to sink while walking. They had ended up in a pool of quicksilver. Panicking at first because of the sinking, the Ranger calmly took a breath and told the others to relax, take a deep breath again, lay down on the surface of the quicksilver to evenly spread out their body weight. After a few moments, had their bodies gotten back up to the surface and could crawl back up on solid land. There our heroes would take a few moments to rest. During this rest, so would the Zapper tinker on his gear. He managed to upgrade them to the point where he could use some new abilities. These would let him attack more enemies at the same time. After tinkering some more, resting a little longer, so the party packed up the things and continued to journey forward. Further ahead of the trail, along the lava lake, they came across a crossroad, with a very large rock right before it. Before they reached it, so that the party see a shadow move behind it. Keeping my hand on the weapons, so that they decide to move closer to the rock. Out from the shadows, step of the rock stepped behind what they saw a Shadow Watcher holding a package of some sort. The Shadow Watcher approached them and said to them that she had been sent with supplies for those that fight in the name of Vez'nan, or at least don't miss Stannis on the throne. Gerald walked up to her and tried his best at convincing her to give the supplies to the party. They were fighting the same enemy after all. After a few minutes, did she reluctantly agree to give them the supplies, before disappearing in a cloud of smoke. The party packed the supplies and moved on, but before that, they just checked a potion among the supplies. It looked strange, and no one really dared to drink it, so they just packed it down and continued on. Further down the path, the party take a small break. During this time, so did the Sorceresses decide to train. She had realized the party would need all the tricks they could use from now on. She succeeded with the training and was now stronger. After the training and the break, so the party continued on. Sometime later, so the party come across a narrow path between 2 lava streams. The problem was that a group of 8 demons were on the other side, blocking the party's path forward. The Zapper would yell at them to go away, but the demons, 6 smaller ones and 2 hellhounds, only laughed and charged the party. The Sorceresses made the first attack on one of the smaller demons, while the Zapper moved forward a little. More demons moved closer to the party, and Gerald moved to block them. Excuse me. The Ranger would use his Vine spell and send them up from the ground behind the 2 demons that was already on top attacking the party. These vines would trap the two hellhounds that were rushing towards the party. One of the small demons would toss a burning ball at Gerald, singeing him a little. Zapper was next, and he would toss a ball of lightning at those trapped within the vines. It dealt some damage to the hounds and some to a small demon nearby. The sorceress would with a spell end the life of one of the small demons, the one that was in front of Gerald. The last small demon in front of Gerald took a swing at him, but only scratched his armor. Gerald would in turn strike back at the small demon that struck him actually, defeating it with one blow. Gerald would however take some burning damage from a previous ranged attack from a small demon. The ranger rushed forward after that, took out a small demon with his poisoned arrow. One of the small demons would move forward, but got caught in the vines, while the hellhounds managed to get loose from them. But getting loose meant that they were too tired to continue. Another demon, however, would also move up and toss another burning ball at Gerald, burning him through his armor again. The Zapper would charge up another lightning attack that he shot at a hellhound, but would strike the other hellhound and a small demon too, dealing damage to all three of them at the same time. The sorceress would take a chance with a spell of hers and one of the hellhounds alive. Gerald used his protective spell on himself again, while the ranger would end one of the small demons. The last small demons were still trapped in the vines, but managed to get loose, but only that. The hellhounds charged forward and tried to take a bite out of Gerald, but his shield only sent the damage back at it instead. The Zapper would have the honor of ending the hellhound, and the sorceress sent a spell at the final small demon, ending it too. After catching their breath for a moment, so our brave heroes continue on forward. While traveling along the path, the one still going by the lava lake was not much else to go by. So did one of their companions fall to the ground and writhe around all of a sudden. Rushing to his side, so did they see that the companion's eyes had changed color, and they spoke in a language they couldn't comprehend. They looked like they'd been possessed. Then without warning, so did a friend lash out against the others, trying to harm them. Gerald acted quickly, muttered a spell and sent a beam of light against the friend. They recoiled in pain, but it didn't seem to harm them, and instead so that everyone would see a black shadow escape from their friend's back. Their friend collapsed to the ground, panting and coughing, but their eyes and speech had returned to normal. Gerald's spell had worked and driven the demon that possessed the friend out of them. The group decided to rest for a while, and then they continued along the path. As our heroes continued along the path of the lava lake, which wasn't very pleasant, with the much high heat and the occasional lava splashing in the ground. They kept trekking forward, however, and eventually started to hear sounds that sounded like metal hitting metal. They would eventually come upon a small hut where a man stood hammering away at a sword laying on an anvil. He noticed the party, greeted them, and introduced himself as a weaponsmith. He offered the party his services, but for a price, since he needed to make a living. Since the party didn't have enough to upgrade everyone's weapon, so they finally eventually decided on having Gerald upgrade his sword. They paid the weaponsmith, he got to work and hammered away. After a while, he presented to Gerald his upgraded sword. The party thanked the weaponsmith for his service, and then continued their journey. The party continued forward and took a different path away from the lava lake, and a path that was let hot this time. They wouldn't get far on this new path, however, when rocks started falling onto it. Then, all of a sudden, in front of the party came forth two armored skeletons, and from behind came three smaller demons forth. It was an ambush. The sorceress used a spell that broke the armor of one of the armored skeletons, while Gerald moved forward and used a protective spell on himself. That one is very useful. The spell, I mean. The ranger would take a shot at an armored skeleton, hurting it a little, and that same skeleton would move up and hit Gerald, but the spell turned it into a pile of bones. The Zapper took a shot at a small demon, and the other foes just moved in closer. The sorceress saw a chance to take down a foe and sent a spell towards a small demon that the Zapper attacked. This would prove to be its demise, as it sank to the ground unmoving. Gerald would charge at the last armored skeleton, take a big swing at it and hurt it badly. A crater nearby would all of a sudden explode, but with no one near it, so was no one hit by the lava that flowed through the air. The ranger would hit the last skeleton, and also turn it into a bone pile. Zapper moved to be close to the others, and the last 2 demons moved up as well. A demon got too close to the crater, however, and he got hurt when it exploded. The sorceress saw the small demon being wounded and didn't hesitate. She charged up a spell, flung it at the demon, and sent it to oblivion. The ranger saw his chance as well, aimed his bow, and hit the demon, killing it for good. The enemy ambush had failed, and our heroes continued on. Following the pass, the party got closer and closer to the mountain around the lake. There, close to the foot of it, so they spotted a tavern. They decided to head there for some rest. But before they could even enter though, so was the party's path blocked by 3 bandits. One of them said that no heroes was allowed there, and if the party didn't turn around, there would be trouble. The sorceress and Gerald stepped forward in this moment and told the bandits with a firm voice about the mission and that they needed a place to rest up. The bandits looked at each other, and then with a grunt they would leave the party alone, who then was able to proceed to the tavern. When the party entered the tavern, so did it go silent as a lot of unfriendly faces turned to stare at them. But with a quick hand signal from the bartender, so did they return to their drinks. The bartender greeted the party and said that it was bold of them to come here. And he's not surprised when he hears why they are there, but he tells them that if they cause trouble, they will be tossed out. After that brief exchange, the party rents rooms for the night and buys some food. They sit down and eat, while Gerald looks around and sees some brigand having an arm wrestling competition. He walks over and joins them. He faces one of the brigands and does his best, but the journey has now taken its toll on him, and he unfortunately loses. The party lost some coin, but the rooms had already been paid for, luckily enough. The party finished their meals and headed to bed. They didn't look too comfortable though, and they would be in for a rough night. Gerald decided to head outside before bed to train a little bit more, to hopefully remember more of his skills. After that, so they head to bed inside, went to bed for a very rough sleep. And that's where we left them, and that's where we are. So now, brave resistance members, grab your gear, put on your helmets, and make sure your shields are sturdy, because now we continue. It's time to leave, and time to move forward with our heroes. It looks like we're heading into an ambush already. Skeletons only, luckily, so hopefully it will go well.
Watch and learn.
Not much I can do than shoot an arrow. And then you hold the line.
I'll show them!
That's a very long range to have. Oh well. Let's take this one. Only 3 damage, that's fine. Everyone else moves up too.
It's on!
Let's do this then. See what happens. The armored one is down.
Smite the unholy!
Geralt, move up and strike down. That's a lot of damage.
Watch this!
Let's do this with a poison arrow. And down he goes. Hold the line. Lock this one in place.
Children, behave!
And everyone else, just stay where you are. Nothing rises yet.
Come on, come on,
Let's
come on,
chop
come
this
on!
one.
Here I come!
Oh well, move up. And do this on yourself. Now everyone else will rise again.
Give me a target.
Strike down.
Ooh, get off my
And
lawn!
down with you. There we go. And the battle is over. Victory! There's a lot of ambushes lately, but you can expect some mana or experience. Now we continue forward again. What do we get? A traveling fortune traveler wrapped in mysterious approaches. Pick a card and learn thy fate. She offers holding a deck of cards. Do we dare? The chariot? Continue. This chariot moves forward to victory, always steady and relentlessly. The woman claimed an excitement, then continued her journey. Ooh! 2 armor for a dwarven friend? That is excellent. Excellent indeed. Now for our ranger friend. we're gonna take Ricochet.
Can't
And
stop
this will
me
give him
now.
2 armor as well, and now he has 3. Now, where to go? Let's head to battle, I say. We still have some heroes that need upgrading. We also need coin for the future, because we never know what might happen. That's a lot of people. Stop right there!
How did you get here? Sorry, boss. I'll deal with you later.
It's
Well,
on.
indeed they will. Let's deal with this. Down it goes.
You wanna live
Gerald.
forever?
Move up a little and use protective spell on yourself. Abomination will move up.
I'll show
Let's
them.
stop it in its track, I say. But now it's the closest one. That one too.
Watch this.
The ranger is there. Let them deal with this one. And down it goes. But now move up here. Do this. And it moves forward and will hit Gerald and wound its back instead.
Zap him up.
Let's do this.
Smite the
Some
unholy.
damage. Let's do this on this one. It will hit Gerald again, but Gerald's armor is tough, so he will be fine.
Ooh, get off my lawn.
Do this, because they are quite deadly. Not down yet.
Give me a
We
target.
will need to deal with her first. Or them. I don't really see the gender, to be honest. Let's move you back a little. Gerald starts taking damage. But it will be fine, I hope.
Come on, come on, come on, come on.
Do a lightning strike.
Here I come.
I wonder. Let's move back. Strike this one. Because they need to move around now. Which means their movements will be longer.
Children, behave.
Let's do this. They also need to move around. Hop.
Watch and learn.
Let's do this and see what happens. They all go down.
It's
Nice.
on.
Strike this one. Down it goes.
Smite the unholy.
Go down here. Do this.
Ooh, get off my lawn.
Deal some damage to it. Can it reach Gerald, I wonder? Yes, it can. It will strike the ground and hit a lot of them.
Watch this.
You move forward. Hit with a poison arrow. And down it goes. Victory! Some food and some more experience. That will be lovely, actually. We will not heal up yet, but those supplies will be well used. Let's shield our companions, and I hope it works. Nope. Darn it. Good thing we have one of these. And I think Gerald will need to get some healing there. I know we're not supposed to use them, but we still have the merchant up there. Spot a ruins at a cryptic building and get closer to it. If inside we find a large hole filled with statues of monsters with a big chest in it. Let's see if we can analyze. We could. We analyzed the statues with extreme caution and find out that they were in fact gargoyles in rock form. We weren't sure what to do next, but night would soon fall. Seal them. We decided to conjure a barrier magic spell to prevent the control of the transformation. When the man is under control, we proceed to loot the chest before we continue on the journey. 700 experience of XP coin. I take that, thank you very much. As for our sorceress, we will take the trebuchet. Large is a huge ball of stone that damages and applies root to the target and deals splash damage to all enemies within 1 hex radius. Punches the sorceress back 2 hexes. It's powerful though,
I
and now they
feel
deal a lot more
younger.
damage. But now, we need to move forward to the next battle. We shall see what happens on the path though. Nope, we'll only face demons. And this will be a lot of them. And we shall see what happens. Out of the way, fiends. Our world is at stake.
Oh, really? I couldn't care less.
And here we go. So be it then. That's what it does. That one moves up.
You wanna live forever?
We are gonna do this then. No, we're gonna do this actually.
Children,
Then we will do...
behave.
Actually, do this. I don't think we'll cut his armor, but it will damage it directly. That one moves up. This one moves up. Very short. Now can move very far though. Hopefully not far enough.
Come on.
Now we are gonna do. Let's do this. See what happens. 4 only. That one moves up. This one moves up.
Watch this.
We'll do a ricochet shot on these. Demon goes down. That one moves forward. They move forward. Their armor is now gone. They will attack Daryl, but harm itself.
Smite the unholy.
Daryl, I'm afraid you'll need to hold the line. Armor up.
I'll show them.
Which one is closest? That one. That one is next. You're the one who will send this one against. Not quite dead, but a lot of damage, and it's... Daryl has strong armor, thankfully. Move forward, and we'll what? Oops. That sounds good.
Zapper.
That is not fair. Let's strike.
Give me
Forward.
a target.
We will do... Oh, that one is stunned, and that's fine, actually. We will attack... this one. Or this one. Down it goes. Hold the line. You will move forward. So will you.
Here I come.
You will still hold the line. And you will do this. And down it goes.
Ooh, get off my
You will
lawn.
lock the big gun in place.
It's on.
Can you move forward, I wonder? No, you could not, so just
Watch
hold
and
the line.
learn.
We're gonna do this. Let's hope it helps. Seem to do. Stuck in place. You're also stuck and you're poisoned.
You wanna live forever?
Protect yourself, Gerald, again.
Children,
big guy.
behave.
Now it can move forward, but it will attack Gerald and go down.
Zapper.
Attack.
Give me a target.
Poison arrow. The poison is stuck, so... I don't know if it was fire or what it was, but victory instead. Oh, it was poison, probably. That's a lot of XP, and we can upgrade our final ally. Raise a coil. Raise a high voltage coil over a target empty hex, which attacks a random enemy on its turn. Very nice. Now we move forward. I think we're gonna need to rest up some. Let's see if we can dodge. Ooh, I was close. In the blink of an eye, we jumped out of the Boulder's way and landed unharmed. We watched as it rolled down a cliff shortly after. Control the upgrade for our heroes. So we'll do this. Do we have anything interesting? We have some healing. We will buy, and buy. And we don't really have crippling wounds. So we'll do this. Then we'll sleep. Broke up and found a scattered belongings. Apparently something or someone went through again as we slept. Well, we don't really have a lot of coin on us, so they can lose it all. But now We're in for a final fight against the unblinded one and their leader. So let's go. And the leader of the cultist, I mean. And there they are. The time to face a fate has finally arrived. We stand before the notorious Overseer's portal, ready to put an end to its invasion once and for all. Approach the portal. Let's hope that all goes well.
We made it!
Let's end this. Nothing stands in our way. Or does it?
Oh, so naive. You will not harm the Overseer. Not on my watch. Mind looking the other way? Last chance. Either accept this ocular grace within you, or I will break you.
You and what army?
You clearly can't see. I am my own army.
What do they mean by that? Well, that's nasty. That's even nastier.
I'll show them.
Well, let's see if we can do this. Well, that one is gone.
It's on!
I don't know what else will do, honestly, so let's shoot this one. That was not right either.
Watch this!
And I forgot to move. Because this one is nasty.
Here I
Gerald.
come!
You hit. Good. You did some damage to her. Those small ones, don't know what to say. They can be nasty.
Children, behave.
Can we hit, I wonder? Wrong one.
Come on, come on, come on, come on!
My hero needs to be able to move.
Give me a target.
They can stand there. That's actually fine.
Smite the unholy!
Nope. Darn it. More ones. That one. They will attack my Zapper, unfortunately. And it's now asleep. That
Get
is
off my
cheating
lawn.
on so many levels. My Zapper is asleep. That is
Watch
nasty.
and learn.
That is just nasty indeed. Ooh.
You wanna live
This, however,
forever?
will not help much. Can you move forward and hit our friend, maybe? Yes, you can. And do that, please. Boom! Actually exploded on its own. Oh no! Zapper! Oh. Really? Well, here we go.
I'll show them.
You know what? Hit one of these instead. Nope. Darn it. Ooh. But it still means that they explode. Darn it.
Your Highness, worry not. I have a surprise for them. And so do I.
Okay, that's not bueno. They just got a bit more powerful, I guess. Yes, they did.
Give me a
Gosh darn it.
target.
Fire. You stay. Actually, move up here. No, bad on meat, bad on meat. Very bad on meat.
Ouch! Here I come!
Move up here. And do this, Gerald, since you have a lot of life. We need everyone on hands, on deck. At least only that area. And my sorceress is... Oh Oh yes, I've got one. And only one. Well, that's good. But my sorceress is in trouble. Yep, big trouble.
Ooh, get off my lawn!
Strike.
It's
Only
on.
3 damage, but 3 damage still. You're actually gonna attack this one. Is there another friend
Watch
in
and
here?
learn.
Darn it. Move over here. Attack this.
Gah!
Daryl.
You wanna live forever?
Really? I guess you need to take a hit from a tentacle. Attack instead. I'm sorry, Zapper, but I think you can take it. Oh, that's good. Yeah,
Children, behave!
need to wait for the ranger to actually be able to attack.
Zapper!
Nope, you're gonna...
Watch this.
Ranger, attack with a poison arrow, please. Cannot be poisoned, I know. Then you move here.
Smite the unholy.
You move here. Do this to the sorceresses. Ooh. Oh wait, darn it. Oh, that only took his armor.
Ooh, get off my lawn!
Let's do this.
Come on, come on, come on, come on.
What you do? No, first and foremost, let's move out of the way, I say. Over here. Then do this.
Give me a target.
You move up. Yes, move up there. And back. This one. And now we come into... Gerald is still in that line of sight.
I failed you. No. There's still greatness within you.
Oh.
Ah!
Oh dear, they got bigger.
This ends now.
Oh. Oh boy. Yep, this is bad.
Here I come.
Gerald, move out of the way, please. And nope. Hold it. We are actually gonna make you do this. Strike. 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 Move. More tentacles. And oh, them. And them. Darn it. Hold the line, please. No! Hope now. Ooh.
Zapper!
Good.
Watch this.
Now. Over here. And attack.
Smite the unholy.
Gerald, up. Use this one on the ranger. Need the spells. Go. Go. And go. As long as we stay away from those, I'm happy. Ooh! That was way too close for comfort. I do not trust those beams, and that was way too close, Gerald. Okay, here we go. And 3 more small ones. Boom, boom, boom.
Come on, come on, come on, come on!
Good.
Watch and learn.
Not close enough. You know what? Then move away up here, please. And yes, do this.
You wanna live forever?
No. No. Okay, do it on yourself. Boom. Ooh! Close again. And close again. Luckily they are in shield now. How funny would it be if that one of those actually hit their leader? More tentacles. And now this.
It's on!
Do this. And you know what? Attack. You still need places to move.
Give me a target.
Up a little. And poison go. Not a lot of
Here
damage.
I come!
Let's move up. And use this. Can't actually, so hold the line. Ooh, that was good, I moved up. And Gerald, for that matter. Close again. And we shall see what some of the other guys do. Oh, come on, please. Ooh. If it fired upwards, that would have been bad. This is also... Don't want to think about it. Come on, really?
Come on, come on, come on, come on!
Stop. Come up. Gerald,
Watch and learn.
you need to move out of the way anyway. Yep. Fine, like this one. To the Gerald.
You wanna live
Come on,
forever?
You can still not move there. Now let's move you here. Just hold. Boom. 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 Will Gerald get hit? Yes, he will, but the shield will protect him. Thank God. Missed. And missed. Come on, please, come on. It's one more round. Boom, and no one's hit. More tentacles. Come on, this close. Let's defeat this evil being once and for all. Hold all you like. Yeah.
It's on!
Go a little bit further down. It's quite... Hold them down!
Yes, this I foresaw.
What do they mean by that? Oh, they shrunk. Then our sorcerer's friend is up again.
You think you won, but before losing, I'll take you with me.
Oh no. Looks like this is the end, friend. It's an honor going on this journey with you. What?
We're getting out of here. Hurry up, before it's too late.
I'm sorry, I know I read that wrong. It's a monk from before, Stonebound Temple. Portal! We're gonna live! Run!
My lord, I have failed you. I don't deserve your mercy.
Sorry for that. Later that day, bloody celebration! Victory! Oh god. That was a lot.
Light shines another day!
Indeed it does. That's level 5. And they now have another skill. We used the Dark Knight a little as well. It looks like. And here are everyone that has created this wonderful game. And this wonderful journey for us. What's this? Far south in the Elven lands. I insist there has to be another way. It must be done. Choices of luxury we no longer have. Summon the generals. All of them. Oh, that is an angry monster. Well, looks like we've done it. And that was it. We fought at the Rift of Cinders. This changed lands of the extra-dimensional menace, and we won. We beat the evil, but it looks like Vez'nan has another fight planned. As for what, I do not know. Maybe we'll find out in the future, but as for the Resistance to see. For now, the Resistance can take a rest, and so can a hero, but as we all know, evil does not rest for long in the lands of Lineria. For now though, so will our heroes rest. And have a nice break. And so will I. It's just been a long journey. But it seems that if we look closely to the west, another adventure and another enemy has come upon us. But that is for another time. So for now, brave members of the Linerian Resistance, I hope you all enjoyed the journey we've been on, and I hope you have a very good break and a rest, because I know our heroes and I will have. So for now, please remember to stay safe in your homes, make sure your doors are locked. If you have a fireplace or a hearth, make sure to put the fire out, and if you have your candles out for reading, please make sure to blow them out before heading to bed. Please stay safe, everyone. Take care of your loved ones. This is Paladin Northern Firefighter, going on a much needed break. I see you soon.